And now, it's time for Levack and Goz to answer the question,
Why? Why do we put up with woods?
Tell me why.
Why? It is time for Wednesday Why. Goz asks the question why. We try to make sense of it. I'm not allowed to answer with a simple why not or because. I have to actually attempt to reason this out. And then he will give his thoughts, which won't be nearly as cool as mine.
I don't agree with that last part, but I'll move on and still start it off. Why, Levack, did the New York Yankees get crushed last night by the Boston Red Sox?
I'm going to blame sabermetrics this time around.
Sabermetrics?
I'm blaming sabermetrics because for some reason Brett Gardner wasn't your leadoff hitter. Neil Walker was. People are, having bloody noses. They don't even have chicken nuggets to put in them. I think it's one of those things where I think if you go with your gut, that's a very different lineup going up against Chris Sale. But instead, he went with I got to pitch, I got to hit righties against a left-handed pitcher. So I'm going to go ahead and just screw up my whole lineup.
How about Severino just can't figure out big games? Isn't it that?
It's always the first one.
It is. Like Severino, when he's against the Twins in the one-game wild card, he's getting roughed up in the first. Then you have the opening day game where Severino throws a lot of pitches in that first inning. And then against the Boston Red Sox, they scored double-digit runs. Maybe it's easy as Severino because as much as we could criticize Boone, they lost by 13. It's not like 2 or 3. They lost by 13.
How dare you? He'll be back. He'll be all right.
Well, let's do that. Why does Luis Severino struggle in these big-time, big matchup games?
Well, this one I would blame cold temperatures, which could. There's a lot of pitchers who have always had a problem with their grip in cold weather. Need a little bit of sweat on that hand to get with the rosin and everything. And I just, he's what, 22? He's a kid still. You get it all out of your system when you're 21, 22, and then from 22 and a half to 40, you just win games for the Yankees and World Series.
He just gets so excited. I don't know if he tries to aim his pitches, geeked
I think
off.
he tries to throw him through a wall.
Yeah, he does all those things, and it's always the first inning, it feels like, too, that Severino just hasn't found the way to treat an April start like an October start. A rivalry game against another team, and sometimes those are mixed and matched in between. Maybe you're right. He will figure it out at some point, but there's a lot of pitchers who want to have that feeling of it being a big game. Feel like they're better pitchers when the pressure's on them and they have to be good. Severino's going to find that perfect balance in between. You're right. He is still very young, but I think it's just him feeling the pressure on him that gets him so geeked up and out of funk during the start of those big games. The next one here, why are the New York Mets so good this season?
It could be
dry humping guys is something that I feel very strongly about.
Could be Mickey Callaway. Could be Todd Frazier. Cespedes, the way he's playing. The pitching has been healthy. There's a lot of things. Everything seems to be going right for the Mets, but I think it starts with Mickey Callaway. I think you've got a team that wasn't hearing Terry Collins anymore. Was Terry Collins wrong, right? Doesn't matter. He just wasn't the right guy for that job anymore. And they brought in the right guy for it. Institutes an off-season throwing plan. Talks to Cespedes about golf, does all the things you need done to be a better team, and they've been just that, getting off to the best start in club history.
And that was a really good answer.
Thank you.
I want to say a lot of those things that you said. I'll just continue to go with the offense here. Cespedes, Bruce, Frazier, finding those guys that work for the offense. Mets fans, I will take a little bit away from you, though. They're playing the Miami Marlins now. You guys might get to 10-1, 11-1. The Marlins aren't very good, but they beat the Nationals.
They play the Nationals.
I know they do.
Come on,
I know. I'll give them half credit.
They won
Marlins
7
really stink.
straight. That's why.
Levack, why do some New York Knicks fans want Jeff Hornacek to be fired at the end of this regular season?
Oh man, that's a fantastic question. It turns out Hornacek's not as bad as you think he is. This is a rebuilding program. I think it's just you're hoping for something better. But what if I told you that the Knicks this season are shooting 46.3% from the field? That is the highest field goal percentage they've had since 1996-97. And that the Knicks had 1,882 assists, the highest since 94-95, all under Jeff Hornacek.
Why aren't they better then? Just follow up that quickly.
No defense and no defense.
And Kristaps Porzingis is injured. I mean, you could use that in there.
No Timmy Hardaway Jr., no Kristaps Porzingis. Enes Kanter's out tonight. I mean, they've got they've had their problems. They need another scorer, and they need to play defense.
For the Knicks fans that want him to go, the head coach to be fired, you guys know they were rebuilding, right? Like, we all knew that in the start of the season. You can't tell a coach, oh, you're terrible, you're not winning games, but we're rebuilding. Okay, which one do you want? Do you want us to be a competitor for the Eastern Conference playoffs, or do you want us to rebuild? And if you say that the talent around my team's not good, that's not my fault. You guys didn't give me anybody. You guys wanted me to rebuild, and I lost my best player. So I don't feel like it's Jeff Hornacek's problem. I just feel like Knicks fans feel like, oh, it's another bad season. It's got to be the head coach's fault. Get a little consistency along the sidelines. Let him do what he wants and find out if he's still your guy and when you're trying to win games.
Remember, he's got that weird odor on him, too. Like patchouli and incense.
Phil Jackson?
He was hired by Phil.
The next one here. Levack, you seem to be nervous about the Albany Empire's first game at the Times Union Center. And maybe not so much about the players or coaches, but about us. Why?
Well, we saw some of the players today. And, dude, scary. But we have a very big role in home games. Like to the point where I don't think people realize, I know some people around here don't realize, how busy we're going to be. I mean, we got to fire T-shirt cannons. We got to do trivia with people. We got to sing songs. We had our big entrance today where we took over the field. There's a lot. We got a lot to do, and I'm very shy.
That last part's not true.
You don't own me.
Maybe a younger Levack might have been a bit more shy, but
I mean, well, how often are we in front of? I mean, right now the seats are selling fast. There's a chance that we're in front of 13,000 people.
Yeah, that's true. I thought you were going to say, how often are we in front of people talking about our show, like daily? And I was going to say, well, at least two, Woods and the intern Ryan, but those guys probably aren't even listening right now. So one,
you have a
and
face
me.
for radio. I'm worried about you.
Oh, stop it. You went through the cheap shot there. Old school joke. You know
People
what?
are going to see that you have a chicken nugget in your nose.
I'll say this about the Albany Empire game. If you've already bought tickets, you as a member of the crowd are going to have a chance to interact with the game, which is so cool. They have so many cool things set up for the Saturday game that you as a fan, and people want to say this, like the fans want to be a part of it. They want to feel the experience. Oh, no, you're going to feel the experience. Like there are going to be so many chances for you. It is a big old party this weekend. And you got the Browns coming in. Eddie Brown, touchdown Eddie Brown, Antonio Brown. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I'm nervous. I'm not. The only thing I'm nervous about is the delay in my headset. I'm not used to that. I'm not going to be used to hearing a microphone.
There is no headset.
Oh, I'm even more nervous now. Last one here. Levack, why are television show season finales turning into month-long season finales? This is like the new thing. The Bachelor had this happen. The Challenge you and I watch. Yeah. Like, whatever show you watch, I think Breaking Bad's final season was 2 parts. There's season finales that wait 3 weeks. Why is this a new trend? It's just flat-out ratings? Like, I would think people who watch the shows are upset when you hear season finale, and it ends in May when it's April.
Normally, people will give you a 2-part. So but the Challenge didn't even warn you. Like, you're sitting there watching, we'll come back, we'll tell you who won. And then they come back, we'll tell you what next week. Ah! It's like, oh, hate you so much.
Yeah, man. Don't do that.
Sometimes if the story is good enough and it warrants 2 episodes like that, like whatever the B or the wrap up is, I'm down with it. I get it. I like it. I'm fine, okay with it. The ones that just they drag it on just to drag it on are terrible. You know what show does that already? Unsolved. The Tupac Shakur Biggie Smalls one.
Oh, it drives me nuts, man. I feel like I'm watching
nothing.
I feel like I've watched the same episode 4 days in a row, and I fall asleep during it, and I wake up, I'm like, what episode is this? They just did the same thing to me last week.
You'll go like a whole episode without any Tupac or Biggie. Like, I don't care what the detective's home life is like. It's not what the show's about.
People forget the detective's name. We just call him Detective, who is investigating Tupac and Biggie.
Fergie's ex-husband.
Right.
Is, like, I don't care about him. I want details from the case, even if you make them up. Just make them entertaining. Get to that. Yeah, stop dragging it out.
And that's it. It's over.
All right, let's stop dragging this out. It's enough. No more. Levack Goz, 104.5, the team.